Hello again, everybody, on a very rainy Saturday here in Northeast Ohio. We are back with some more Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. You'll probably hear the storm in the background. This suggestion for a custom battle today comes from Joe Haddo, and here's what he suggested. He said, USA versus Japan in an alternate universe where the Japanese had pushed the Americans back from Iwo Jima and had now been able to make a huge fleet and are now inbound to intercept the U.S.'s shore bombardment fleet and crush them with a sudden blow. You have to take control of the U.S. fleet and push the Japanese Navy into the bottom of the sea. You have to build either the heavy cruisers or the battleships. Good luck. U.S. Fleet 1940 tech, 3 battleships, 2 heavy cruisers, 1 light cruiser, 2 destroyers, 4 battleships for the Japanese 1935 tech. Oh yeah, we gotta fix that. He said 1935 tech. 4 battleships, 2 heavy cruisers, 1 light cruiser, and 3 destroyers. Now, I'm going to build the U.S. battleship, but I don't want to go crazy with this. So I'm not going to unlock anything, and I need to be reasonable with the technology. I don't want to build like some crazy, super heavy battleship. So I'm going to go similar to an Iowa class as far as the specs go, to keep this on a reasonable footing. So obviously we're not going to have a 98,000 ton ship. So we'll try to go down a little more reasonable with this. We'll go to a modern battleship 2. California is the class it's given me. I'm going to change the name, but we'll go ahead and start getting something built up for this. All right, so here's what we got. I went with the similar weight to an Iowa class, which was around 57,600 in displacement, at least when she was in World War II stage. Went with the same speed, which was 33 knots. But beyond that, and the guns, the big guns. I have the 9 16-inch guns. So other than that, though, I kind of went with my own thing. I did go with 5-inch secondaries as the Iowa class had, although they had far more. I think I've got a total of 10. No, I guess I've got the same amount. So I've got 10 turrets, each with 2. So that's 25-inch guns. That's what Iowa had. I also threw some 3-inch guns on there. And then I went with the rangefinder, the Coincidence Rangefinder 5, which gives me quicker gun aiming speed since we're going to have multiple targets we're dealing with. I've got the Gen 2 rangefinder. And then I just armored it the best I could. I've got a slightly better amount of armor than the Iowa class had traditionally. I think she had 6 inches of deck armor and 14 of belt on the, like the Wisconsin, for example, which was an Iowa class battleship. So please don't say, oh, that's not what the Iowa looked like. I wasn't trying to build an Iowa. I was just basing my idea off of Iowa so that I didn't go crazy and build a super battleship that nobody could destroy. I wanted to make it reasonable. So let's dive into this and see what happens. All right, so I came back to the build screen because I went in and started playing the match, and he had battleships with 18-inch guns that were super accurate. So I don't have to worry as much as I thought about overmatching him because I build some kind of super battleship. So I've raised Ohio up to a 71,000 ton displacement, and I've added 18-inch guns to it. Still just the 9. Everything else is the same. I added a little bit more deck armor, a couple inches of deck armor, and I also have gone ahead and switched to the stereoscopic rangefinder 5 because that gives me the better accuracy at a distance, because that seems to be what he has. I think I'm also going to probably go with Citadel 5 armor to protect against that plunging fire. And we'll add just a little bit more deck armor to this thing, as well as some more belt armor. I think that's going to even this out just a little bit more. Okay, let's do this. Okay, here we go. So we've got the Louisiana, the New Mexico, and the Ohio. Over here we've got Rochester, Pueblo, Charles F. Adams, and Overton. And then on this side, the Pensacola. So let's go ahead and start moving forward. What's the speed on some of my other ships? These guys have 34.5 knots. When I did this last time, my heavy cruisers had 20 knots of top speed. It was brutal. Looks like we're pretty even around this time. I'm going to go ahead, at least until his destroyers come close and start threatening me with torpedoes. I'm going to go with a tight formation for my battleships to try and get better accuracy. And we'll start turning toward him so we can kind of tighten that angle too. for as long as we can. Eventually we're going to have to turn away, but I want to head toward him as long as possible because I've got the 2 turrets up front. Here we go. What do we got up front here? Looks like a cruiser. He's already 24 kilometers before I spotted him. That's kind of disappointing. Go ahead and slow things down. Be curious to see what his guns are this time, because he had 18-inch guns on his battleships last time. That was really disappointing. A ricochet. And he's already hit me. 15-inch guns. Bow deck extended penetration on one of my battleships on the New Mexico. See what's going to happen here. My destroyers are going to go straight at him. And did we switch targets already? Yeah, I think we did. Unless this is the guy we were already shooting at. I can't remember. All right, boys, come on. We got to get some hits here. There we go. Didn't do as much damage as I would have liked, but let's see what happens here. We might want to switch to AG on this guy. Yeah, maybe not. We're getting some nice hits right now. That one, probably not quite enough to sink him, but pretty close. Alright, we're getting really close to his other ships now. I gotta be careful here. How far out? They're only 13 kilometers out. They're gonna be in range of my secondaries here in a minute. I'm gonna try and take this guy down. I'm gonna go ahead and start turning away. And I'll kind of rock back and forth a little bit. Try and throw off the torpedoes. I gotta watch from my side for now. Oh, my little 3-inch guns are firing too. I'm not doing much, but they're firing. Oh, dang. 8-inch gun just sank the Overton. That was quick. And my heavy cruiser just slammed right into Louisiana. Thankfully, there's no friendly fire damage from ramming quite yet. Alright, we got torpedoes coming now. Where are they going? They're coming this way, okay. Turn the other way. And we lost our other destroyer. Ugh. We sank one of his. 24,000 damage on a destroyer. Okay, that might be overkill. Just a little bit. Yeah, we got some more torpedoes in the water. I'm gonna turn back this way now. We're way closer than I want to be on these guys, but hopefully we'll get some quick kills on his secondaries, and then we can get back out at a distance to take on the 4 battleships. Landed a bunch of hits on this guy. That destroyer's toast. That's 2 of his 4 destroyers. Wow. And looks like we're... Did we get... Yeah, we got a heavy cruiser too. So we're trying to clear the deck of all his other ships. then it just becomes a duel between me and the battleships. And I've got the long range capabilities on that. There goes another destroyer. Right, there's those torpedoes right there. So he's got what? 4 battleships, 2 heavy cruisers, a light cruiser, and a destroyer left. 1 heavy cruiser left. Alright, we're going to start going away from him now. At least for now. I'm going to try to take out this light cruiser real quick while I'm here. There we go. Beautiful. Now everybody goes after this heavy cruiser. I want to get this angled the way I want it here. Ooh, big spread of torpedoes coming my way. Let's turn big time. Okay, we took out that cruiser, but not before he got a bunch of torpedoes in the water. But we're going to be okay from that. Pensacola, don't go toward those torpedoes, please. So it's just, is that heavy cruiser? Yeah, he's still showing as having life left, but he's not. So it's just me and the battleships now. I've got 2 heavy cruisers and a light cruiser left, but 2 of my battleships have been hit pretty bad already. New Mexico's getting lit up. There we go. Did we get him? I think we got him. Lovely. Now we're even on battleships. Let's try to get our battleships organized again here. I think Ohio's taking the lead now. I'm going to start heading toward his first one right here. The one that we've almost got knocked out of commission. So it's funny. I had 16-inch guns. I came into a fight. He had 18s. So I go back out, put 18s on mine, and now he's got 15s on his battleships. Not quite sure how that all works out. Plus, they've only got 15-inch armor, so you know, you just never know what you're going to get. We might come back in after this battle's over, since this ended up pretty one-sided. I might just go back in and kind of redo the battle with my 16-inch guns again and see what he has next time. Because this probably would have been a pretty even fight if he had 16s when I had 16s, or he had 18s when I have 18s. This guy's dead in the water. So it worked out pretty nice to be able to very quickly knock out all his escort ships, because that removed the threat of torpedoes, which allowed me to kind of maneuver at will. Oh, nice. See, with me having 18-inch guns and him only having 15 inches of armor, he just really stood no chance. You can see the own cruise speed bonus. Once we get down under 25 knots, it gets up to 30%. These guys here going 28 knots, still just a 7% cruise speed bonus, and the one going 26.8 knots, 21% bonus. Where's the Ohio? So many 18-inch shells just raining down on this guy from my 3 battleships. 27 at a time. Down a little bit and just watch some of this. Oh, that was a big one hitting that main gun. I knocked out that front main gun. That thing's dead in the water. It's not moving now. There was one. Watch the Ohio fire a couple of times. Look at that damage. They're getting a little more realistic looking with the damage. You know, you got the scorching just on one little part of the gun instead of the whole thing. I like that. Raise those barrels up. Watch it in real time this time. Here they go. Second set will hit him. Nice. Alright, he's just about done. One more salvo ought to do it. So I'm not going to replay the entire battle, but I'm just going to go back out can see by restarting the battle. I just want to see if it gives us a different enemy. So I've come back in, and this time I'm doing crazy damage to him already with my 18s, but he hasn't hit me yet to where I could see what his guns are, but you can see I've already just about sank one of his ships. I'm just waiting for one of his big guns to hit me so I can see what I'm dealing with. I'm just kind of going straight at him right now, kind of a kamikaze run here. Just want to see what the guns are that hit me. And so, okay, that's a 9-inch, so that's from one of his cruisers, or it's a secondary on a battleship. None of his mains have hit me yet. Come on, Minnesota, go straight at him. It's like the first Minnesota at Gettysburg, charging in to a swath of enemies. Another 9-inch hit. We haven't been hit by any of his big guns yet. My goodness. Where are your battleships? And why aren't they sinking me? They're hitting me. This is crazy. I will have sunk multiple of his ships before I can even get hit by one of his big guns at this rate. Or maybe I'll just identify him. So this seems to be the strategy here with this mission, is just to go straight at him. I'm going to try to avoid most of these torpedoes if I can. Go straight at him at full speed. These battleships have still not hit me with any of their big guns, so I can't tell what they are. Alright, gonna get nailed by some torpedoes here. Not a big deal. I'm just trying to find out what kind of guns he has. It's like impossible mission trying to find that out. Got nailed. Minnesota got nailed by some torpedoes. Alright, he's got... Are you kidding me? Only 13s this time on his battleships? He had 18s the first time I did this. This is crazy. Alright, so... The first mission when I went with the 16-inch guns, if that would have happened against these other ones, it would have been a pretty fair fight. But for some reason, ever since I put the 18s on, he's gone with smaller guns. So anyway, there you have it. I wish there was a way, and maybe they'll come out with this in the future, where you could specify what the enemy has as well beyond just his year of technology. But that's where it is. So let me know your thoughts. Give me your ideas for custom missions. Give me a scenario, and I'll try to do as many of those as I can in the coming weeks. All right, thanks a lot, guys, for watching. We'll see you again soon.